Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to do hopefully a quick job on the Discovery 2, and that is to fit a new head unit. Now I've just done an unboxing of this Essgoo 10-inch rotatable screen Android head unit. So if you'd like to see that, click up there. This is the actual head unit. Screen. It's a screen, so you can rotate, you can angle, exactly what I want. These are all the cables. So, as I mentioned in the unboxing video, I have purchased this connector because this is what you get with a box, which is all very well, but you can use this if you want to solder or use top blocks or whatever connectors. But I know I just find it easier to do this if you never need to undo it. So choose an ISO to Android 16 pin. So on the left here, this connector here is just for the speakers, so that's nice and easy. And on the right you have the power, ignition power, illumination, earth, and you've got these 3 extra wires here. So you've got key 1 and key 2, and that's for your steering wheel control. And you've got one called back, and that's the trigger for your rear camera. I already have a rear camera installed, so I'm hopefully just going to connect this to the trigger, and that should be all good to go. Another connector here. This is for all the RCA outputs and inputs. So you've got the aux in and out. You've got camera in 1 and 2. You've got video out for additional screens, subwoofer out, and RCA for if you have an amp. So we connect that as well. We have 2 of these. These are USB connectors. We have a 4-pin and a 6-pin. We're going to be using one of these for the DAB Plus. I do have a proper fitted USB thing, which I'm going to I'll show you when it arrives. But for now, we're just going to use this. As I say, there's 2 of these. And we have a mic. I think that's it. And this one here, this is a single one. This is for the rear camera. Okay, so it plugs in, and they all plug in to various connectors on here. So the power, that big one there, the 16-pin one goes there, where you've got fuse, and then you've got all those additional little ones there. You've got the external aerial for the radio, and you've got a GPS aerial, which I've already just put in the car. So this is the radio, the screen clicks on here, so you can quick release it if you want, and then you've got like a ribbon cable which plugs into the screen. Now I've powered up already, it all works obviously, so we're good to go. So what I need to do is just put some connectors on these. So I was going to put some bullet connectors on these so I can undo them if I need to. Right, at the moment I have this is a replacement center console panel, center panel, where the vents, the vent on the back here, that bit there had snapped off, and also mine had that horrible wood effect, which I'm not really a fan of. So I had this one lying in the garage, so I'm going to fit this. The only problem is a lot of the mounts I noticed on the actual car, which is on the heater, have snapped. The only problem I can see with this is they give you these mounts here. Okay, so they're supposed to go like that, or you can have them the other way. But on the D2, there's nothing to mount this to. You're a bit of limbo. There's nothing to mount that to, and of course, how do you mount it? Because the stereo's in there, you can't get your hand in there to put any screws or anything. So I'm not sure I'm going to get away with that. What I did have earlier, let me go and get it. Right, I had this lying around. This was, off an old stereo, a normal cage you get. So you put this in and you bend these little tabs back to hold it in place. What I'm thinking of doing is just putting the stereo into this. And see how that goes. Hopefully it'll be a nice tight fit, because you don't want it wiggling around. And then we can bend this out, bend these tabs out, to be kind of secure, and might even be able to get a screw through there, I'm not sure, probably not. Anyway, let's have a look. Well, I've just put this cage on, and you can see it does go on. It is nice and tight. There is a screw sort of here. You just have to slightly bend this out. You can't see it, but it's on there. It does go on. So I think that's the only way I can get to fit it, really. That's the screw I was talking about. There's one either side, so you just have to tweak that a little bit and it comes through. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to go and fit my centre console dash part back in the truck. I've run I need to run this somewhere. I think this and the GPS cable out the back. Let me go and show you where I've done that. Right, I know this looks a bit scary, but here is where the centre console dash panel would normally go. So here's the GPS aerial. I've literally just pulled it through, one of the vents on the back, and that's going to go, oops, not that, just going to go up on the screen up there. So, there's your ISO connectors. Okay, so just simply plug in. Then I have my, that's the CB, that's my trigger for the rear camera. Right, I've got the centre console back in. I had to modify it a bit to make it nice and secure, which it is now, because of that bracket that snapped off the heater. So these are the connectors you'll need. You've got the two ISO connectors there. This one here is for the backup camera trigger. You've got your normal radio aerial. You've got your microphone. That's the input to the camera. What else have we got? Then we've got the two bullet connectors, which is for the steering wheel controls. And there should be one more for, there you go, GPS aerial. That's all we know, so we're just going to plug this in with this loom, connect up the three bullet connectors, and I'll put the stereo on, push it in slightly, just test it all, make sure everything works. I'll just quickly show you how I've wired it up. So I don't really need any of these at the moment. The only one I needed was for the microphone, ISO connector there, steering wheel connector there, just temporarily put in, just to make sure they ran the right way. That's for the trigger for the camera. And I've got the what do you call it? GPS aerial, radio aerial, backup camera, input, and USB. That's what I've got. So I'm just going to slide it in and just check. I've just put the main loom in now. It's already in. Fuse, there you go. That's from the outside. Look at that. That's why I've connected it. Right, it's not fully home. It's just in there. Still secure, but it's just in there for now. Just for me to make sure everything works before I put it out again. Anyway, I have to do some other stuff like the change the USB, so I don't want to put it fully home, but it's in there. It's quite tight for the FM aerial. You have to bend it a bit just to get it in, because obviously mine sticks up. Probably a right angle one would be better option to buy, so just think about that. To connect the stereo, you just take this ribbon cable, plug it in the back there, and then these, it's like spring loaded, and they fit onto that, easy enough. I can't do it one-handed, so. Right, so there it is, all installed. And obviously you can rotate it whichever way you want, like that. And when it's locked in properly, you can tilt it like that, tilt it like that, so it tilts all the way around. Covers the vents a little bit, but by the time you've angled them to yourself, you're not really going to see it anyway. Right, it's powering up. Alright, just check the rear camera works. Yep, that's all good. There's the radio. Right, I've got a lot of settings to adjust on here. So I need to explore that, but anyway, this is a video on how to install it. I may probably do one on different apps to install and how to get it set up, etc. So if you want to see that, please subscribe to my channel. So thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.